Okay, so in class we had talked about door and window openings, and just to be very clear on how the window openings are laid out, or how I'd like them laid out, I've got a simple wall here, and I'm going to take my tape measure tool and I'm going to come over 1 foot. And so this is the left-hand side, oops, line tool, not tape measure tool. This is the left-hand side of my window. And then what I want to do is I want to measure across from the midpoint the exact width of my window. So in my case, my entire window opening is going to be 48 inches wide. Um, and then I'm going to close off my windows on this side. And then to mark the, the actual sashes inside the window, I'm going to grab this midpoint here, and I'm going to drag a line across. And I'm going to grab this midpoint here, and I'm going to drag a line across. And so that gives me 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that denotes my outer sill, my inner sill, my lower and upper jambs. And so those are all the pieces that I'm going to need to make this a 3D window. And so in my case, the window that I'm drawing is actually only 24 inches wide. It's just that there are 2 windows side by side making up one larger unit. And so to denote that there are 2 distinct units in this window, I'm also going to draw a line up the midpoint like so. And so if you actually had a window, a single window that was 48 inches wide, you wouldn't need this midpoint. But if you have 2 double hung windows side by side, by all means, please put in the middle line to denote that they are separate windows. And so what you'll find is that when we go to draw this out in 3D, is that we now have, oops, that's 24 feet. That is not going to help us. We now have 3 separate entities here. And we can use these 3 separate entities to begin to draw our 3-dimensional windows. And so we've got our outer pane of glass or our lower pane of glass here. We've got our upper pane of glass up top, and then we have our 2 sills, window sills. And so you can see really quickly how this is going to start to become a fully drawn out window once we get to that space. So that is why I would like the lines arranged the way that I have asked them to be arranged. Because when we bring them into the 3rd dimension, it will really help us to draw our windows